Hey guys, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Alessandro, also known as NadaqAle online. That is what my username is. So most of you guys probably know me as that. I've generated well over $330,000 in the last 9 to 10 months, I want to say, through prop firms alone. So I would say I'm pretty qualified to give you, who is probably profitable, advice on how to actually get to where I am today, right? And obviously my goal is to share that through YouTube. I document my journey. If you don't believe me, because I do understand that this industry is full of frauds, cheats, and scams, feel free to check out my Instagram and TikTok. They are in bio. I document every single payout, every trading day, every calendar day is posted up on there, all right? First things first, I just want to get this over with. The number one thing that actually determines profitability for a trader is not your strategy. Yes, it's partly your psychology, but take aside your psychology and your model, your strategy. You could have the most perfect psychology, the most perfect model, whatever the fuck strategy. None of that matters without market experience. If you don't have the intuition to be a good trader, if you don't have the intuition and the actual experience in the market, you will never actually make money in the markets, because you are practicing the strategy that was perfect last month, perfect last week, perfect today. Doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow, right? Doesn't mean it's going to work a week from now. Doesn't mean it's going to work a year from now, right? Part of being a good trader is learning to adapt to market conditions. Are we consolidating? Are we in an uptrend? Are we in a downtrend? You will have to adjust to any market conditions. Are we going through a war? I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this on YouTube, but recently we've been going through this war in the US. Obviously that is going to affect the fucking market. Are we going through elections? If there is elections, obviously that is going to affect the market. If you have never traded through some of these conditions like war, elections, politics, all these news-driven things that actually just drive the market to complete shit. Is the market volatile? Is the market unvolatile? Factors like that you have no control of, right? You have control of when you enter and exit a trade. You don't have control of when Powell opens his mouth. You don't have control when Trump sends a tweet. All of these small little factors that you probably think are so insignificant to your trading, I promise you they are. I promise you they will play such a large role in your trading in the near future. They will affect the way you trade. They will affect the way you move in the market. And if you don't have the capability to adapt to that, you are not suited or fit to be a trader, right? The number one tool, the number one habit, whatever you want to call it, that every single profitable trader has is market experience. You are not going to get anywhere without market experience. You can have the perfect model, strategy, psychology. Oh, I accepted my loss. Oh, I took this, I took that. I don't care, bro. If you have not been in the markets for a few months, you are not going to sustainably make money. And that is how the game works. Day trading isn't some sort of garish quick scheme, some sort of fucking job you can just hop on and get a payday your first day. No, it works like any other career. Even if you're a fucking cash register at McDonald's, you're not going to be the best cash register your first day. You can get all the instructions on how to work the machine. You can get all the instructions on how to treat customers. That doesn't mean you're going to be the best at customer service. That doesn't mean you're going to know how to run the machine the fastest the first day, right? You need time, just like any other job, any other career. Day trading is a career. I hate when people are like, you're so unemployed, you day trade. I guarantee you, day trading is harder than 90% of careers out there. Like, shout out heart surgeons and shit like that. I'm not saying my job is harder than being a doctor or heart surgeon. But I'm saying, if you're like an architect or like a fucking engineer or some shit, don't tell me that my job is a joke and easy, because I guarantee you, it is the same thing. I have to clock in every day, every morning, stare at the charts every morning, remain disciplined. I don't have a guaranteed salary. I get paid based on my performance as a trader. All right, that is a riskier career in a sense than something with a guaranteed salary. That is a risk in trading. You are risking getting paid based on your performance. Now, that is a good and bad thing, because A, you can make a shit ton of money. B, if you don't perform well, if you're not performing your best, what's gonna happen? You are not going to get paid. You're not gonna make a single dollar. So yes, it is a very risky career. However, the way to actually get there and become successful at this career is simply by having market experience. You are not going to get anywhere without actual experience in the market. And that is something that no one can teach you. That is not something that I can teach you. That is not something that your mentor can teach you. That is not something that anyone can teach you. I can teach you A to Z, how to use my concepts, how to use my models, how I enter a trade, how I exit a trade, how I take a loss, how I move on from a winning week, how I move on from blowing my accounts, everything. I can't sit down and put in hours for you. I can't be the one to sit down in your chair, on your computer, on your account, and stare at the charts for 4 hours a day. That is something you have to fucking do. That is something only you are capable of. You are your own worst enemy in the markets if you are not doing yourself the service of actually clocking in time in the markets. Please start fucking forward testing. Start back testing. Start doing anything to get actual market experience. That is why I preach forward testing. Forward testing, you're actually testing the live markets. You're not back testing 3 years ago when Trump wasn't in office, when there wasn't anything political going on. None of that bullshit. Back test or forward test today's market. Forward test today's market, tomorrow's market, whatever it has to be. Sit your ass down on the charts. If you see a setup you like, put a tool. You don't have to do any risk. I'm not telling you to risk money. Matter of fact, if you're unprofitable, you should not be risking money. If you are unprofitable, you should be trading paper until you are comfortable enough to open one funded account. Stop trying to fucking scale if you don't make money trading. Do you know how many traders come up to me and say, oh, I want to make 20K a month. I need 5 accounts. And I ask them, oh, when was your last payout? They're like, oh, I haven't gotten one yet, but I know it's coming. Dude, if you don't have a payout, stop trying to get a payout on multiple accounts when you can't even get it on one account. What the fuck makes you think if you can't do something on one account, you're going to be able to do it on 10 accounts? And I'm not saying copy trading is harder. Copy trading is not any harder than trading one account because you don't even see the accounts. They're copy traded in the background. You're ignoring that. But I am telling you, if you are not profitable today, you are not going to be profitable tomorrow. That is not how it works. And that goes hand in hand with the game of market experience. Like I said, I can't teach you that. You have to sit down and get your ass to work. That is something no one can teach you. You have to save yourself. No one is coming to save you. Nobody. Get your ass to work. Do your fucking thing. Get on the charts. Forward test. And you fucking got it, bro. All right? I know you got this shit because I know you've been putting in the work. I know you've been putting in the hours to actually become a profitable trader. But you are going to get nowhere if you don't actually follow your rules, follow your system, and give yourself time to understand the market. Reading the markets is not a mechanical game. Reading the markets is a game of who has been here the longest, right? Who has been in the markets trading, who has been in the markets looking for their setup the longest, right? It is not a game of, oh, I invented or I learned the fucking 95% win rate strategy with a 1 to 10 risk to reward system. I probably won't even make money with that system in the next 3 months if I try to, because I would have to relearn everything that I once knew about trading and have to take a completely 360 different approach to the way I currently view the markets, right? That is what I'm trying to tell you. That is what I'm trying to teach you, is that everyone's approach to the market is different. You are not going to become profitable overnight. Don't be ashamed if you are not profitable. If you're learning a system, don't be ashamed that you are not making money, that you're not profitable yet, because I guarantee you the piece you're missing in your trading is market experience. That is something no one can teach you. No one is coming to save you. Get your ass to work. Start forward testing, back testing. Get your fucking time on the charts in, all right? I will see you boys tomorrow. Have a great fucking day. Trade safe and peace.